Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in this wonderful world. My name is Scott, and I'm here with Trina. And Trina, you're going to introduce a good friend of yours.
From Kenya to the United States, and also Zimbabwe and South Africa. So, Sarah, today we have a special program because the new Pope had visited Kenya not so long ago. And you're going to tell us more about it because my experience of this last week was pretty ordinary. The people around me were not very excited about this whole thing. They didn't watch for the black smoke or the white smoke. They just went on about their business, and basically I did too. And I'm glad to see him, and I want to read something about him and his words for peace. But let's start with you, Sarah, because I think it's very exciting that Kenya was so keen about this as this thing that they they rejoice much more than we seem to have with an American peace to people, which is a wonderful thing these days that somebody from America is speaking peace to the people. Okay, Sarah, you're on. Take it away.
Thank you, Trina. Thank you, Scott, again. And just like you said, Trina, as Kenyans, we are very excited about the new Pope. And we're excited because a few months ago, he visited Kenya and he interacted with some parishes under my deanery. And the parish where he went to is an Augustinian parish. This parish is in a place called Babadogo, and the parish is called Sacred Babadogo Parish. It's in the Raraka Deanery. A deanery is a collection of parishes. So we are about 12 parishes in the Raraka Deanery. And so as Kenyans, we are so happy. We feel we can identify so much with the new Pope because he has made several visits in Kenya. And when he came to Kenya, he was able to meet the chaplain of the young group of people called Missionary Youth Movement at Babadogo. And this is not the first time that he was visiting Kenya. He had visited other years. Now that he is an Augustinian, we have Augustinian communities in Kenya. Some of these communities are even running schools. And most of the time, he would be invited from what I read. And so, as we are happy. And we believe that he will visit us every now and then, now that he has his community here. And it seems that his community is very active. So we believe that he's going to be in connection, visiting us every now and then. And maybe we are going to learn more about the church and the world by having him. When he was being elected, people concentrated a lot on this election. And this is the time again, after they realized that he is an Augustinian, this is the time that the media gave even most of the communities, religious communities, a chance to go to the media, to come to the media and explain to the people what it really meant for Pope Leo to be elected. And it was a time for learning. So many people wanted to know why the white smoke, the meaning of the black smoke. People had different interpretations, but the priests were able to come on media. So the media also gave this election a priority, and it helps people to learn more about the Catholic faith, how things are done, and what that position of being a pope really means, especially to the Catholic Church. We were praying for the Pope, and we believe that the prayers we made were supposed to be for 9 days. It's always called a novena prayer for 9 days. But before even the 9th day, that was the 6th day, we had already gotten an answer. We had gotten the Pope, and we believe that it was God who appointed him because we prayed for that. God appointed him, and now we have a lot of expectations in him to the world, and especially to the young people whom we believe that they are the ones to be taken more care of, because tomorrow maybe some of us will not be there, but these young people will be there. So we are expecting a lot from the Pope, and we are still praying for him. Actually, there's a prayer that is now going on, and we pray for him every day. And part of what his concerns was brought on one of the national TV station, and he was calling for the world to release all the journalists that were captured some times back. So he's calling for the world to release the journalists, because the journalists are like the mirror of the society, and they help people to get information. So I think that is his first mission of peace, because we live in a complex world, and maybe without journalists, we will not be able to know what is happening. And that's why he's calling upon the world to release all the journalists that in jail or wherever. And when they come out, I think we are going to get the right information. And again, so many journalists were there when he was being elected. And this, like in Kenya, we heard about 5 journalists who were in Rome. They went there, they collected the news, they were in connection with the people here. And every time the media here would connect us to the journalists to Rome, and these journalists would give us all the updates. And so I think we started well, and we are wishing him well, and we are hoping for the best. At the moment, maybe it's too early to judge him on what he has done, because he just came in the other day. And so maybe we will wait and see what will happen. But all the Kenyans have him, especially the Catholic religious people in Kenya have the Pope Leo in heart, and they have him in prayers. Yeah.
I love that we get this information about him from across the world. And I learned something from you, Sarah, about the journalists. I hadn't heard that yet, that this was his first project. Let me read these beautiful words. These are the first words he said. It was to the city of Rome and to the world. Peace be with you all. Peace be with you. The peace of the risen Christ. An unarmed and disarming peace. I like that especially. An unarmed and disarming peace to stop the war, to stop the wars. Uniting everyone, always in peace. A church that always seeks peace, for peace in the world. Leo, isn't that beautiful? That's our hope for the world, isn't it? When I think of the Augustine priests, they're a male order of priests. We have female orders of religious people with different names. We have male orders. The last pope was a Jesuit, which is very unusual that there's a order priests. The people who elect the pope are all called cardinals. They come from bishops, and they're appointed by the pope. The pope appoints the cardinals, and they're the ones who do the elections. My archbishop is a cardinal here in Newark, New Jersey. And that was a big surprise that Newark, that's not a very big town like Philadelphia, got a cardinal, and Philadelphia didn't this time. So this hope is coming from being the cardinal archbishop of Chicago, and a big city that usually does have somebody who's a cardinal, appointed as a cardinal. But the Augustinians are a great group of priests that I know very little about, but I'm sure we're going to get to know them a lot more. They come out of the tradition of St. Augustine from the 4th century, who lived a rather dissolute youth, and his mother Monica kept praying for him, and he changed his life around in his 30s. And he wrote the book, The Confessions of St. Augustine. We call him St. Augustine now. The Confessions was his name of the book. And it starts out with, our hearts are restless until we rest in God. And so I'm hoping that this wonderful man lives up to this tradition of peace, and that we hear that he's into. It for me right now with him, and it's great hope for the future of not only the church, but the world, that whatever influence he has, reaches out for peace around the world.